be a little bit more themed. And I don't know why it started, but we started talking about the little creepy crawly things that scare the shit out of us. How's that? And the first thing we came upon was spiders. And so this episode will be about those eight-legged freaks, eight legs, multiple eyes, that creepy and crawly that
A
are
little
always
pixel.
there. Now, do they scare you?
I am actually I find them very fascinating. I think they're really cool, actually. There are these like really small, like fuzzy spiders that hang out in my backyard that I'm just like, you can hang out. Like you're helping me out with getting rid of the like the
The
nasties that I don't like.
Exactly, which is crickets, which is probably going to be another podcast. Well, I'm going to tell you a story, and my listeners have not heard this story. I was in southern Arizona, and I was driving between Wilcox and Bisbee. And for those listeners who know where I'm talking about, it's a desolate road. It's about 40 miles or so north of the Mexican border, and I was the only one on the road. And it was a little warm, and as you look out, the heat comes off the road and it looks like the road is moving. And I'm thinking that is really cool until I got up there and realized the road was moving. And it was a tarantula migration. A quarter of a mile wide, a quarter of a mile long, of nothing but these little creepy crawly tarantulas. And I say they weren't really big ones. They were only about the size of your hand, the palm of your hand, which everyone now who is listening to this is looking down at the palm of their hand going, damn, that's bigger than I want to know. Literally millions of these spiders crawling north into the Arizona desert. I had
Yeah.
to get across this road. I mean, obviously, they're right across the road. I got to drive. So I continue driving, and I hear them crunching underneath the tires, and I'm wondering if they're going to get kicked up into my car and start coming out the vent. And next thing you know, I'm going to have 100 spiders all over me, and I'm going to die somewhere outside of Bisbee, Arizona.
Oh my God. Yeah, I had a high school teacher that had a very similar story like that, where it's like I remember hearing the crunching as I was driving through. It was like, what?
Now, what would you have done? Would you have now? I know it has nothing to do, but when we're driving over the spiders, do you pick your feet up off the floorboard, just, you know, and say, we got to get out of here?
I wouldn't find myself in that situation in the first place. But if I were, I would be like, just gun it. Like, I'm like,
As fast as you can and see the spiders come flying up off the back.
the crunching
Um,
will happen, but it's not going to be a slow burn. We're just doing the damn thing.
so you don't want to stop halfway in and see if they crawl up the car.
No, don't let him have a chance either. It's like you stand idle. There's an opportunity for that.
Wow, you're absolutely right. Anyway, I did not stand idle. I drove through it, and to this day, I can still see that entire. I mean, it was like it was a quarter of a mile wide of these spiders just marching in step with each other.
It's crazy how they do that too, because the fact that you're not the first person that I've heard that story where it's like that you've experienced that obviously is a common thing, and it's just like you just happen upon it, and it's just like okay, well, demons are among us. Um,
Can you imagine if you're hiking in the forest or the desert because it was a little desert there and seeing those come at you?
the way I would climb a tree as fast as humanly possible. There's no way.
Now, see, for the listeners, they're going to have nightmares about these spiders now, which another thing is the spiders in the movies, which we have talked about. Some of these movies give you nightmares, but I'm going to throw a little curveball at you the first. And you're like, we didn't talk about this in the podcast show, did we? No, we did not. Are you ready?
Okay.
There's a spider. Is there a spider in Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah, Aragog.
Does that thing scare you or no?
Yeah.
Tell me
I
about it because I've heard people say that's the scariest thing in any Harry Potter movie or book.
Oh man, the basilisk, the snake, which we will get into that kind of creature feature
Hmm.
topic, but the basilisk is top for me. But Aragog definitely, and one of the reasons is because he's the big guy. He's the big
Uh-huh.
bad. But he has all of his children around you. And so he's like, "Oh, like you're a friend of Hagrid? Okay, I'll talk to you." And it's like, "Okay, well, we'll just leave now." And it's like, "Leave? You- You're not gonna leave." Like when food openly welcomes itself to my children. Goodbye, friend of Hagrid.
You know, I should have known better to try to throw a Harry Potter at you that you wouldn't know. Of course, you not only do that, but you quote the entire scene.
I'm ready. He's like, "Can we panic now?" And then start running.
Now,
Poor Fang. Like, as a pet lover, I'm just like, protect the dog, protect the dog.
that's exactly how it is, and we watch these horror movies and it's like, Camp Crystal Lake and everybody gets just wiped out, but don't touch the puppy. Don't touch the puppy. We've already said that before, so.
Some of these spider movies that we're going to be talking about, like they get the pet babies, and it's just like, like eyes closed. It's not real. It's a movie.
Yeah. Well, let's start back in the 50s when CGI was not very well done and special effects were not really good special effects. But we have something like Kingdom of Spiders and some of the giant tarantulas. It
Yeah.
seemed that in the 1950s and 60s, the way to scare somebody with a spider was just make it the size of a mobile home, and then that'll scare the crap out of people. And it worked.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did those movies scare you as much as the ones today, though? You're looking at a spider that's, 20 feet tall and 15 feet wide.
Well, I guess kind of like what you were saying, where it's like there wasn't a lot of you know, I guess you would say like practical effects, obviously not CGI, stuff like that. So it's just like a enhanced tarantula just kind of like gooshing around.
Nice
So
special effects. I love that.
but I don't necessarily find it scary. I mean, like the creepy crawly aspect always will be effective, but um yeah, it I guess it just doesn't get me. It's kind of like not to say that I don't like slow zombies, but the fast zombies scare the shit out of me. So it's kind of like that, where it's like it's still scary and it's gonna get you, but it's like a slow burn,
Mhm.
whereas like
Yeah,
ones
that's like
newer one
the Night of
ones.
the Living Dead. You can outrun them. That's no problem. They just continue going. 28 days. Those things were running at like Olympic sprinter speed. They scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, or like the OG Dawn of the Dead, like it's slow, but it's still scary because if like you get trapped, then you're fucked. But if
Exactly.
in the remake, they're fast. And so it's just like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Now you just watched a spider movie for your homework, didn't you? And you've got the spider dress on, which I love.
Yeah. Yep, had to don the attire.
On the attire. See, when we did The Exorcist, you had The Exorcist on. Sure. Now you have this. Um, Next week when we talk about sharks, I have an idea what you're going to be wearing.
You could take a gander.
I will take a gander. But you watched Sting, and this is
Yeah,
not the first time you've seen it, and you've done reviews on it. What do you think of that movie?
yeah, that's a 2024 movie that I really love. I believe I found it on Shudder, but I'm sure it's available for like rent or buy and VOD and stuff like that. But it's I believe it actually was filmed in Australia, but it's everybody has American accents. It's very interesting. But yeah, I really like it because it is a spider movie, but it's also like like a comet from outer space hits into an apartment complex, and then it's like an egg that hatches the spider, and it once it gets adopted by a young girl that lives in the apartment complex.
She adopts a spider.
Yeah, because she's a weirdo. It's okay. But but she's like feeding it crickets and stuff, and it grows and grows, and then it's this giant massive thing, and then it starts going through like the air ducts and stuff like that. And so it goes all throughout the apartment complex. And it's really smart because it's kind of like a supernatural, like uh, alien
An
thing. It's
alien
not,
spider.
yeah, so it's not just a spider. So it can mimic noises. So she goes like to indicate that she's about to feed it. So like whenever it gets gigantic and it's starting to like attack other people, like people don't know it, but like they're just sitting there and they hear, and I'm like, oh no, feeding time's about to happen. Oh no.
Wow.
It's really good though too because I love how like some of these that are on my list, it also has like a family dynamic, like the characters are well rounded out. So it's not just about like, oh, spider killed. That's the concept of the movie. Like
Hmm.
it's very much there, but the movie makes you care about the characters. So like when it happens, you're just like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. So I really like that one, and I talk anyone's ear off as soon as I can about it because I'm like I think that it's really cool, and it's like but spiders are scary. I'm like but it's good.
Okay, now is that your favorite spider movie?
Um, I mean it's hard to say because the others on my list, I
You have
really
to have arachnophobia on there.
I do. Yeah.
Yes.
hmm Yeah, that I was about to say that that's my like close second. I feel like Arachnophobia and Eight-Leg Freaks are tied as second, honestly.
Eight-Legged Freaks is a weird movie. How's that?
I
How
love
how else can you? Well, you're the movie critic. You're the reviewer. Is that a way? Is that a good way just to say it's a weird movie and just leave it at that?
definitely not. You can start off with that. Here, I'll look up my review real quick so I can reference, but I had some references of what I loved about it.
Hmm.
So it I talk about how like I love David Arquette,
Of course.
of course. Really great cast. Like I did not know Scarlett Johansson was in that, so that was
I
pretty
didn't
cool.
know she was in that either. I got to watch it now.
She's
Don't you roll your eyes.
dirty birdie. Um, but I was saying that in my review, it's a great blend of like Tremors and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, where it's kind of like silly, but also you have like those like oh like jump scare kind of like oh shit moments.
Hmm.
And then also like I referenced the Blob for the third act, where like all of us
Okay.
were just everywhere and it's just like absolute chaos. And yeah, I liked the dynamic, and it was just very much my vibe. And I mentioned in my review where it's like when it first came out when I was younger, I was like, that looks so silly. I'm not gonna watch it. And I finally watched it, and I was just like, this is it got Lauren all over it. So I was
See, my
very
problem is I look at it and think it's too silly, and I have not watched that movie yet. And I know
it's
I'm going to get, I knew the look I was going to get. I knew the look I was going to get. The same look I got when I said I'd never read a Harry Potter book. No, that was actually a worse look.
just you just got to get out your notepad, more homework.
More
Uh,
homework, exactly. More homework. Eight-legged freaks. I've
it's good.
actually seen previews for it. I've seen, snippets of it, but I've never watched the whole movie through.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2002. So, I mean, if you get annoyed by like not perfect CGI, like early on CGI, like that might get you, but I think it's fine. I mean, giant spiders, like how else are you gonna get that achieved? So,
How
but
else
it's
can you go wrong?
yeah, and they're creepy. And then there's some good jump scares where I was actually watching it on my iPad and I had my headphones on. I was doing the dishes. And then like there was like a jump scare, a spider like just jumped out at someone. I went like, oh my God. I was
I can
like,
see that.
yeah, that's just a day in my life.
A day in life, doing dishes, watching eight-legged freaks with the headphones on.
Mhm. And then getting scared almost to the point where I throw myself off to the side.
You realize that all these listeners are listening now and thinking, going, what the hell how do you, why do you do dishes with headphones on watching a movie on your iPad?
Immersion.
Immersion. Now that is what happens when you live movies. You're always been doing movie reviews. You got to be doing these 24/7. You know, you wake up in the morning, you put on a movie. During the day, you're watching movies. I know I've asked you sometimes, what movie is it tonight? You go, I haven't decided yet, but you're going to watch a movie at night.
Oh yeah, and I mean we were uh messaging earlier today where it's like doing research for our podcast where it's like if it's not watching a new movie, it's like, watching someone's YouTube reaction. Uh,
Hmm.
So I've watched it, but then I want to get someone else's other like feedback and stuff where it's like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. And then that's how I formulate my reviews. And then that then goes into, when we do podcasts or like what have you, my own reviews were just like then like I can kind of be like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. That actually makes a lot of sense. Like, oh, I didn't see that part of the scene that way, but that makes a lot of sense. And so it's kind of like it's like you call me an overthinker, but that's what I do where I just get a little
Overthink.
bit like I just get in my head a
Arachnophobia.
little bit and kind of try to figure out how I feel about it. So it's not just like, oh, what's tonight? And sometimes it's fun to just throw something on, but then it's also like I enjoy like the extra work that goes into like really kind of thinking something through. Like The Substance was one where like I went and saw that in theaters like 3 times. And then I also watched YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I was just like I was absolutely immersed and I found it so interesting where the movies where like you watch it and then you watch it a second time.
Hmm.
I when I was actually in high school, I always said that I watched the first time to just like get the story and the experience. Second time was for like the soundtrack and score, and the third time was to really analyze how I felt.
So you got to watch it 3 times.
I do. I come on, like the amount of times that I've watched, like read Harry Potter, So I've watched my favorite movies or like movies where it's just like I feel like you get something new out of it every time. Like even Jaws, I've watched that how many? A million times it feels like. And each time I'm like, oh, I love that scene. I actually didn't really pay attention to that. Like that little detail over there. Like
Hmm.
I love it. So
You ever watch movies and try to find the mistakes?
mistakes?
Yeah.
Uh,
Where something can't, it's like that is just that's not that can't happen. That's a mistake. Or, like, and there's one where the lady has a ponytail and it's up and then her hair's down and the next scene her ponytail's back up again.
okay, yeah, that I've noticed that.
Continuity mistakes.
Yeah, or the hair is up and then or like it's like this and then
Hmm.
it's like this in the other scene and then it's this again.
Yep.
Um I I don't know if it's a mistake, but my favorite that when you said that I thought of was the 80s Pet Cemetery.
Uh-huh.
The dad like roll falls off the bed. That is so freaking funny to me. I don't even know, was that planned? It looked like it felt good. So I don't know, but I imagine that was a mistake and they just ran with it.
They just ran with it.
Oh man.
Okay, now I know you have arachnophobia on your list.
Mhm.
What do you think of that movie?
I really like it. I love that John Goodman was in it.
Yes.
Another one I didn't fully register. But I like that it's kind of like Sting, where it has like a family story aspect, and it gave me kind of like what I said about Pet Cemetery. It gave me kind of Stephen King Pet Cemetery, where they're trying to like move away from the city and like reintegrate and stuff like that. And then yeah, it I thought it was very interesting. I also liked that they used like actual spiders. It wasn't like CGI or anything,
Hmm.
so crawliness was very effective.
Would you have wanted to be on that set if they're using real spiders?
Mm, that's a strong question. I would keep a healthy distance. How about
A
that?
healthy distance.
Now, I wouldn't be handling them, but I'd be like, that's cool. Look at
From a
down.
distance.
It's on the first floor. I'm up in the balcony. I'm like, that looks cool. But we got it. We got the shot.
Have you ever noticed though, for the most part, and I'm talking about 90%, any kind of horror spider movie is a tarantula or a wolf spider or something like that. They never have anything else. And there's a lot of other spiders that can scare the crap out of you, but they always use the big hairy spiders.
Well, that and to bounce back to eight-legged freaks,
Uh-huh.
they have a giant tarantula, obviously, as they all do. But they highlight the like I don't know the official name, but they're like the jumping spiders.
Hmm.
So they're like smaller and they're the ones that are like terrorizing the village in the third act. So like
And they go jumping around.
they're like right here, and then they just jump on like people as they're trying to run away and stuff. And there's this other one, and I can't remember the name either, but they apparently they're kind of like vampire spiders where they like jab, like after they like wrap you up in their web, they like jab you with their little beak thing. And so like people are being bound up and then they jab you and you're hearing like the victims going
Well, that's actually, you think about that's a Tolkien when the spiders attack the hobbits in the forest.
Yes, that's another great spider.
Yes. And what the hell did he call? What was Bilbo yelling at him? Um, Atticot, Atticot.
hmm And he
Hmm.
had like the elven like a light or whatever it
Yep.
was
So
in the
see,
back.
there's spiders everywhere. It
Mhm.
actually reminds me of another story that I wanted to share with you, and I know that you'll be happy with this one as well. I used to live in Arizona, obviously, because I spent a lot of time there. Lived in Dallas as well. It was just too damn big. It's a big old place. But in the backyard, I had a little thing where I would feed the birds. So I had bird seed in this big container, and
Mhm.
I went to open the container one time and there was a black widow spider on the container.
Mm.
And I put my hand there. My hand was probably about an inch and a half from this when I pulled it back and saw what it was. That one scared me, but it didn't scare me as much as I got scared. I mean, seeing this, and I grabbed a little stick that was sitting there because there were a bunch of cholla plants and everything. I grabbed a stick and I smacked the spider to kill the spider because it's a black widow and I didn't want it around. It
Well,
had to have been ready to give birth, I guess. And out of it came literally 30 or 40 little baby spiders that took off running everywhere.
oh my God, I have that exact same kind of story. There was a spider in
I should
my
see your face on that one.
it's little trauma. I was still what I think I was like in high school or something, but I was like still living with my mom and I was in the bathroom, the most vulnerable place that you
Of
could
course.
have a spider interaction. And then I go to kill it, and then apparently it was the same where the baby spiders just like start going all over like the bathroom floor, and I'm just like, no! Like, I wish you could have seen me. I literally was just yelling no repeatedly as I was like bashing. I was just like, just make it stop. Oh my God. Like,
Wow. And for those listeners who are listening, Lauren will not sleep tonight.
yeah, we will be checking the sheets for spiders and everywhere else around me.
Now, I know that we've talked, you've gone to the UK and you've traveled away. Have you ever traveled south of the border and been to like Costa Rica, Mexico, any of the places, those Caribbean islands?
Not yet, but I know I say this all the time, but that's a bucket list. I definitely want to, just haven't gotten to it
Well,
yet.
they do tell you that when you're staying in some of these cabanas that are, on the edge of the forest and right there's the ocean, that when you go to bed, you have to shake the sheets to get out the spiders and the scorpions. And then before you put your feet in the slippers or the shoes, you got to dump them out because that could happen. And if you could see her look, you realize that she does not want to go to Costa Rica anytime soon.
Ah.
That's what
I
we don't have to worry about here in the States, right?
I guess I actually was about to share that again, like another like young Lauren story. I remember uh I don't know, maybe 8 years old. I was in my bed and I felt a tickle around like my ankle.
Oh.
Like I was like, what's that? I look under the blanket and there's a spider crawling up my leg and I'm like, ah! That was the night that I did not sleep for sure.
I bet you did not sleep. You probably didn't sleep for a week on that one.
Yeah, and not in that bed either. I huddled myself in a corner and just like looked around.
Why are you sleeping on the couch? Don't ask.
Yeah, there, that's a demon bed. Demon.
Now, when we've talked about spiders and you were doing your homework, do these spider stories do they give you some kind of creeps at night, or do you just, since you've seen so much, let me rephrase that question. You can watch a movie and 18 people get decapitated and body parts are flying everywhere, and you can be like, "Oh yeah, and still eating your dinner." Does a creepy story give it a little bit different um, outlook on how it is watching something like that?
Oh man, that's a good question because earlier today, um, I was watching Eight-Legged Freaks for the homework, and so at the beginning, there's this one scene where this dumbass was like, "Oh, like this like pipe is stuck. Let me just suck the water out the bowl." And then he goes, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh no." And then like spiders start just like flying out of his mouth and like it's not even like the funny kind. It was literally like going, "Oh." But then like 30 minutes later I'm eating strawberries and watching
See, that's
it.
that's the thing. If people get to know you, you realize that you can sit there and go, honey, they're decapitating this guy. I know, pass the butter.
Yeah. Yeah, I am very much like that, where it's just like sometimes it's just like, oh, they're getting eaten. Oh no. But then there are
Now,
times where like it gets me. Like there's this other newer movie that isn't related to creature features, but there's this woman that's getting like a giant tapeworm pulled out of
oh,
her mouth. And I'm like, oh, oh. It just gets me. I'm just like, my eyes are watering. I'm just like, oh my God.
so it's the little creepy crawlies that you really don't like. That's what it is. And we've gone through spiders. Do you have any more on the list that you have?
For the spiders?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the last one that I have to discuss, it's a newer one. It's like 2013. I think it was like a Shudder original or something like that. But it's a French horror movie. And it also uses real spiders. They're like hunts. I wrote this down like huntsman spiders, like the big like gnarly looking
Yes.
ones. Um, yeah, some super tense and
What's the
like
name of the
creepy.
movie?
Infested. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Infested. Does it have
Yes.
subtitles?
Yes.
See, you know what we talk about subtitles, don't we?
It's French.
I would rather watch it without subtitles,
Well, that is of your choice.
and I don't speak French.
I don't. I like subtitles though. I like getting to hear the original, like accent and language and but then it's like the one eye up here, one eye down here.
Exactly. Now, I know my listeners are going to say, how the hell do you find these movies? And I've
You
asked you that too.
Yeah, you always ask me that. I guess I just, like being in the like horror community or whatever and like I am on a lot of platforms like social media informs me of some like and I'm just like ooh that looks interesting or I'm on Letterbox a lot, so I get like, someone's like, "Oh, I checked this new movie out." I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" And it's on Shudder. Like, let me check it out. And I like foreign movies and like all different varieties, and it's why it's fun that we're talking about like creature features because I feel like that subgenre doesn't get talked about as
It
much
does not. It
as and stuff.
Yeah, we're doing spiders here. This is analyzing horror with Lauren and Joel. We are talking spiders. We got to figure out what we're going to do next week. And I figured out, I think we already know what we're going to do. It's going to be sharks next
Yeah.
week.
It was either going to be sharks or snakes. So I'm ready for either one of those.
We're going to be doing sharks because I live, and in fact, the Digital Guru Studios here in Myrtle Beach, I am about a mile as the crow flies from the water. So,
Which
um,
you frequent, as
which
you
I frequent every other year. Um, thank you for reminding me that. Um, but we do have, and actually, there's an app. I don't know if you know, I think it's one on X, which is Twitter is now X, where they have tagged some great white sharks, and you can find out where they're at. Did you know that?
Oh, that's pretty cool. I actually follow a YouTuber that like does like a drone kind of
Hmm.
watches. But I didn't know that specifically. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I follow probably a dozen great white sharks, and one probably about. It was in January or February. It had parked itself about 30 miles off the Myrtle Beach coast and was sitting there for about a week and a half. So and he's a pretty big boy. We have a hammerhead that goes around Arrowhead Pier.
Oh,
Everybody knows him. That's called Dolly, and everybody can go there and see Dolly, and she swims around the pier. On the other pier
I've
down in
heard of
Surfside.
Dolly actually.
Huh?
I think I've heard of Dolly actually.
Yeah, Dolly's she's a celebrity. And then down in Surfside, there's a couple sand sharks that are around the pier. They're always around the pier because that's where when you catch a fish or doing the bait, you just throw it off the pier. So you realize you do not swim anywhere near the piers.
Yeah.
But oh hell, we had a gator on the beach the other day.
Oh, shit.
So
Those are
and we
those.
we'll talk gators. And I think I sent you a picture of my golf the other day. I hit a golf ball about 20 feet from a 10-foot alligator, but that's normal here in South Carolina. Now we're going to talk about sharks. We got to talk about Jaws, the greatest shark movie of all time.
Oh yeah,
We got
absolutely.
to talk about Jaws 2, and then we got to talk about Jaws 3, which is probably the worst shark movie of all time.
I've never subjected myself to Jaws 3, honestly.
What? It's my turn to do that now.
Oh, geez, perfect. Why do I it's right there. I want to watch that instead.
Now, let me ask you a question. Sharknado, have you seen it?
Unfortunately.
Have you seen one, two, three, four, and five?
No, I've seen the first one and it was ludicrous.
It was very ludicrous, but imagine tornadoes with sharks. Come on. Is that good or what?
It's ludicrous.
What do you think of Deep Blue Sea? And obviously, we'll go into these in more detail next week. You think
Yeah,
that's a good shark movie?
I thought it was fun. I mean, again, like the whole like CGI and stuff, like you could be like distracted by it, but I kind of like how ridiculous the concept is. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
What about the Meg?
I like the Meg.
I
I
mean,
think I think the concept of me like, not concept like it actually existed, but like megalodon, like I'm fascinated with prehistoric animals, and obviously megalodon is one of them. And while the movie is a little bit hokey, like I think that it's cool that a movie was made with the inspiration of something that actually existed in the world.
have you seen Meg 2?
What?
Meg 2.
Oh yeah, I have seen Meg too.
You've seen them all, haven't you? Except for Jaws 3D. You haven't seen that one.
Hey, you're not gonna let that one go, are you?
Not until you do it for your homework and subject yourself to the worst shark movie of all time.
I don't know why you want to punish me like that.
because you're making me watch Harry Potter.
I'm trying to get you to read Harry Potter. You won't do that.
You're exactly right. Well, you know what? I love these, and this is probably going to be a five-part, six-part series that we're going to be doing of creature features. We've got spiders in the bank. Next is going to be sharks. We've got crocs. We've got snakes. Should we do one on crickets?
Is there a cricket movie?
Doesn't matter. I just want to hear your cricket stories. How's that?
Yeah, if we want to just do like a chat about it, I've got traumatizing stories. They've been after me my entire life.
Yes, they have been after you your entire life, haven't you?
It's been a vendetta. I don't
Mhm.
appreciate it.
And there's no end in sight because as soon as one warrior dies, another one takes its place, right?
Yeah. I just told you about how like there was one right next to my drink on my dresser.
Mhm.
Dresser. How did you get up there? It was gigantic. I screamed like I was 5 years old. I'm still reeling about that one. And I'm a grown ass woman like that scared the ever living piss out of me.
You realize somewhere there's a cricket central control who's laughing, they're going, "Oh, we got her again."
Exactly. They're doing it on purpose. I know it. They're
Hmm.
after me.
Yep. And then the commanding cricket is calling in some of the forces going, okay, I can tell you where to go. We got to go up here. It's outside of Dallas. I want you to go there tonight, 1:30 in the morning. Chirp. Real
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah, it's like what's his face from A Bug's Life? Like he's doing like she's over there.
Oh my goodness. You know what? It's a blast to do a podcast with you. It is fun. But we got to wrap the podcast up. If you want to listen to this, let's go to vftbradio.com. You can go to Analyzing Horror, listen to all the back podcasts. You can see the videos that are going to be on there. Lauren, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how can they find you on Instagram? What can they do?
It's analyzing horror. It's with an S instead of a Z. But yeah, analyzing horror. I also have a nerdy page that I'm kind of getting started. If you like stuff that's not horror specific, it's you're a witch, Lauren. And then yeah, like YouTube, same, analyzing horror name, and Letterbox if you're into that kind of thing, and same thing on Twitter X or whatever you like to call it.
There we go. And you know what? Same time next week, we will be here. We're going to talk about sharks and why you don't go in the water.
Baby shark do 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 do
This is
do.
Joel Wilson. I will see you on the other side.